All right, I'm all ready to go.
Okay.
All right. So before I start, tell me a little something about you guys first.
All right.
You can start that.
Yeah.
I'm tired of answering that question.
Well, we as a band started in 2003. Wilson being one of the founders of the band, and I don't know, through many lineup changes, we're here today. We've put out 4 releases, 2 full lengths, an EP, and a split with a side project of me and Wilson's called Angelomorphous Rexalia. And we've toured with a bunch of bands, been all over the place, and yeah, that's...
Yeah, we've been to many places. We've been to South America, Canada, all over the States. We recently just came back from Europe, and our first release was signed by Gorgastic Records, which was the EP, and then several records took over, and then now we've been working with them ever since.
No, that's good actually, because I wanted to say that the album, that the latest one that you guys made, "Eat Your Murderer," actually I gotta say, when I listened to it, I just automatically fell in love with the whole album itself. It really was.
Man, thank you so much. Thank you, man.
Thank you.
Happy to hear that. Always happy to hear that. That really, me especially, that really warms my heart to hear you say that, man.
Oh, well, you're very welcome. Because I was at a festival called New York Death Fest, and I'll tell you how this happened actually. And this person had all these CDs somewhere, and then I saw your CD, and then when the person's like, "Oh, you should check this out. These guys are amazing." So I was like, you know what? I'll just take it, and I just bought it from him, and I was like, okay, I'll give these guys a chance. Let's see what it sounds like. So then I just, without knowing anything about what was happening, I just was in my kitchen. I had my stereo, everything. Just put the CD in, was listening, and I was like, wow, this the way it started was just the way I like when it comes to slam. And then when it started with that slow chug, and then just came out of nowhere, I was like, okay, you know what? It just hit me, and I was like, you know what? I fucking love these guys. This is phenomenal.
Thank you so much, man. Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, you're very welcome.
Anytime we can hear positive feedback, negative feedback too, anything, just anything. Just, you hate it, you love it, we want to hear all of it, we love it. Thank you so much, man.
Oh, you're very welcome. It's a pleasure, really. I'm always looking for something new, any new band, or just to discover. I remember hearing about you guys first, through something, but then I was like, oh, I didn't really was interested first, but then I decided just to give it a chance, and I was like, you know what, maybe I should have listened to these guys in the first place. I don't know why I didn't at first.
It happens, there's many a band that I've been like, yeah, I'll listen to that later, whatever. And then later's a few years later, and then I'm like, oh my god, why didn't I do this before? Yeah, it's life-changing experience when you hear them, and you're just like, wow, I should have done this before. Yeah.
Oh, definitely. And one thing I wonder, how did the recording process for the new album go? Was it good, or was there any bumps in the way, or everything just went the way you wanted it to go?
Honestly, it was the kind of situation, obviously there's never a perfect situation, obviously some things happen or whatever, but it's all about how you face it and come out on the other side of it, you know what I mean? So, that is the makings of, I think, that either makes or breaks bands, usually, in my opinion. How you deal with the adversity that comes related to anything, recording, touring, playing shows, whatever, So, with that being said, it went great, actually. It went amazingly. We did everything in as quickly as possible as we could, and we're very happy with the end result. This is exactly what we wanted to put out and to show people, the kind of direction that AKP is taking and the shape and everything. So, yeah, we're very happy with it. Yeah. The biggest thing we had to face was just a deadline. Yeah. Because we were really on the clock, and not only as a band, but individually, we all had our own separate jobs. Yeah. I was personally working overnight graveyard shifts at the time. Yeah. So sometimes I would end work, and then 2 hours later, I'd have to start making the trip to come and record.
And we've been working with Colin Marston from the basis of Gorguts, and he's always been really good with us,
Yes.
And,
I love that band.
Even though we had a deadline, because we needed to like release the album before we went to Europe.
Yeah.
We kind of like did it super quick, and he even said like it's one of the only album that he's had to do it like super fast, in like a very short amount of time. But he did a great job. He always worked with us like in a really good way, and he's a very good engineer. Funny thing that happened is that right before I got to the studio, I had all the drums in my car, and we were just talking about it. My triggers and the trigger module was stolen from my car, so we kind of had to figure a different way out to like trigger the drums, the bass drums.
Yeah, that was another.
That was the only thing, but other than that, everything went smooth.
Hey, New York, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You see everything in New York. I've seen so much shit. It's fucking crazy.
Totally.
Exactly.
Especially when you go on the subway. I always say it's like a circus in there.
I don't like the subway anymore.
No, also one thing I wanted to ask, like, I see that you're wearing the Obscene Extreme t-shirt. How is that, actually? Because I saw your performance there on YouTube.
Yeah, it's been probably the best festival that we've ever played. It's super fun. Everyone's like really deep into the scene, but also people don't take everything so seriously as in America. People are just coming, kind of having fun, and it's just like a very warm environment. You just feel kind of like it's like a big party, and even though like it's like all the bands are serious into what they're doing and everything, everyone's just having fun, and it's a huge like metal party.
It's really cool, man. Right in with like the kind of image and the kind of like material that and the message that we like to portray as well. Like the promoter of Obscene Extreme, Churbi, he's like so like into the whole vegan lifestyle and everything and animal rights, and doesn't so much so that even the cups, I mean, this has nothing to do with veganism, but like, for example, at the festival, instead of buying like this giant waste load of plastic cups, you had to buy like one cup, right? And you'd go and refill your cup every single time. Small things like that, that kind of, but it kind of made it for me as well, because, and for all of us too, because we're all about all that kind of stuff, and the message and kind of the what it stands for,
Oh yeah, of course. Because I like it like that. Actually, I like the idea of like what he said, just like one cup and just keep on refilling it. I think that's a better thing than just wasting all that other stuff out there.
But it's a huge waste and all that, and
a kick-ass cup afterwards.
And the cups are awesome.
I still use mine exclusively for alcoholic drinks.
Yeah.
Didn't you pee in your cup at some point?
Someone stole my original fucking cup. I had to get a new one.
Yeah, me too, actually. Yeah,
but apparently that's just what it is.
It's what it is.
It's just what happens there.
It is what it is.
You can't get upset about it because, eventually you'll just find a cup, and that's what happened. I didn't have to buy a new cup. I just found one.
Yeah.
Someone, I literally found one on the ground, ordered a new drink, and the cool thing is that they rotate the cups, so you don't actually get the same cup you give them. They take your cup, toss it to the side to wash it for later, and then they give you a fresh cup. So they just recycle everything. It's all recycling.
It's
process.
all recyclable. They're trying to limit like their imprint on that area, as much as they possibly can,
For me,
so we really appreciated that as well,
For me, it was the sense of community, like Wilson brought up.
Oh yeah,
The sense of like.
No, also
literally, as long as you didn't do anything malicious, anything goes.
Yeah.
Like, how many people did we see walking around naked?
Oh yeah, so many.
Starting with you.
Funny.
And ending with me. Oh
yeah. It's a blast. You should go.
Oh no, I really want to actually go. Cause I've seen so many videos of the festival, and I was like, I need to go to this.
Hey, you should go this year. Go this year. We're all trying to go this year too, man. Do it, man.
It's a great time. The town that it takes place in is also a really cool town.
Really nice, quaint little town. A lot of history behind it as well, and you can do the touristy stuff, and then go see a fucking kick-ass metal show. It's great, man.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
there's a lot of local eateries around there too.
Yeah.
It's not like that's the cool thing. It's not in the middle of nowhere. It's actually in the town limits.
Oh, that's good.
So you can get a hotel and walk to the festival.
Oh, really? That's even better. Because usually for me, like when it comes to like getting a hotel for something, I have to always take such a long time to get to where I want to be. And I like it when it's
Gotta
just
ride
there.
like half hour, 45. Nope.
Yeah.
Nope. Most of the town, most of like the town square, stuff like that, is all in walking distance of the main campgrounds of the festival, which is like, I would say in the outskirts of the town. There was one time, like at the end of the festival, I walked to the end of the campground and it looked like the end of the town straight up.
Right. Yeah.
No, one other thing I wanted to ask is, how do you guys come up with the name for the band?
With what?
How do
The name?
Yeah.
The name, that's real.
It was just, we were in my kitchen, like when we started rehearsing, me and the other guy. And actually, the vocalist of Copremises at that time, Alex, he was there as well. He kind of like was singing for us in the beginning, and we were all just talking and then just throwing like stupid names here and there. And I always wanted to kind of like have a good message, especially about veganism, because I was already like into being vegetarian and all the against the animal torture and all the bullshit that happens with us, with that stuff in this country. And I was just like, oh, maybe animals killing people, kind of like just joking. And then these guys were like, oh, that kind of sounds good. I'm like, yeah, actually it does. So let's just leave it like that, It's, it was just kind of like just throwing names there, and that one stick to us. And so we kept it.
Oh yeah, that's a good story actually, because like I like when I heard the name, I was like, I was like, I knew this was gonna be actually really good.
Yeah, people like the name.
Yeah,
it's easy to remember.
Catchy.
Even people who are not into metal, and they ask me like, "What's your band's name?" I'm like, "Animals Killing People," and they're, "Oh, that's cool," I like the name, even though they might hate the music,
Yeah.
That's weird. That's something that I've noticed about us. I feel like we're one of the few like really extreme bands that'll have fans that we're the only metal band they listen to.
Basically, my favorite genre of metal is actually slam, because I feel like it's the most heaviest of all the heavy metal genre I've listened to. Because I was like, I like the distorted guitar, the sound of it. I'm like, this is the most heaviest thing I've ever heard.
The heaviness, yeah.
But I wouldn't call us a pure slam band.
Yeah,
though. I mean, we have the parts, but I wouldn't call us a purely slam band.
Oh, okay then.
We're more like
to.
we like to be a little more
diverse.
ourselves. Yeah, it would be more like Death Grind.
Oh, yeah.
Animal Death Grind.
we definitely have the parts. Can't say the end of Listeria isn't a slam.
Or parts of Eat Your Murder.
Yeah, exactly.
Short parts.
Parts here and there.
We like to sprinkle it.
Yeah, we like slam as well. Each of us individually, but as far as like playing it exclusively, not so much, but definitely draw some influences from it for sure.
Yeah.
There's a lot of great slam bands out there. So many good
We've
ones.
done shows with great slam bands too, like our brothers in Gomagot. Are you familiar with them? Gomagot?
Not really, actually. I don't think I've heard of them.
Check them out. You like slam? Check them out, man.
All right,
Sick
I will.
as fuck, man.
They're not only one of the best bands ever, super great dudes. Fun facts: their bassist did session bass for us on a tour
Oh, that's
when we did Vegas Death Fest. God damn, that was 5 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
wow.
Jesus. No, that was 5 years ago. That was Vegas. That was Vegas Death Fest 5, and they're at 10 now.
Oh wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
So
we played the 5-year anniversary.
You guys ever listen to Salibo Incubation?
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah.
They're dope as fuck. Yeah, I saw them in Jersey at Starland Ballroom with a bunch of other bands that really didn't fit them, but they were opening anyway, so it was kind of strange. But yeah, they're dope as fuck, man.
Oh yeah, no, I got a chance to meet the vocalist at New York Death Fest like back in 2016. He was really nice.
Nice. That's good.
That's not Andrew's band, is it?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, that's Andrew's band, right?
Yeah. Yeah, he was actually gonna come with us to Europe.
Yeah.
Yeah, he sent me the CD recently. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a funny thing. Actually,
Yeah.
he was going to do session vocals for us on our European tour, but things just didn't work out. But yeah.
No, also one other thing is like when you like how long does it ever take you to like record a song? Do you ever get like did you ever get like a one shot like saying, oh, there it is, that's the way I just want to keep it, or was there ever like a time that you're just like, okay, I want to change it and make it a lot different than that is?
Yeah, I mean, we always have parts that we kind of want to go back and make better and stuff like that. I usually like to do one take for the drums. I don't like to like punch or anything like that, unless it's something like super specific, like super tiny. But like I like to keep the part of the session going. So I don't know, it could take like, I don't know, it took us like maybe 2 hours for each song and stuff like that, like.
Yeah.
But it depends because kind of like the drums is one session, then we do guitars and bass and vocals, so it's kind of like all over the place. But so we can really say 1-2 hours, because it's like divided throughout like many sessions and stuff like that. But yeah, but we do it. I think we do it kind of quick.
Yeah, because for this session, instead of tracking it very much individually to a click and stuff, we were very much like the drums, me and Charlie, we were in the room playing scratch guitars with the final drums when they were being tracked. Because it keeps a very organic feel.
Yeah.
And that's the way we like it. But we're probably going to be experimenting with different kinds of recording techniques and stuff like that in the future, and writing techniques in the future. But this time around, just like the split, also we kept it very organic. With the split, me and Wilson, I was on scratch guitars. He was on his permanent drums, and we knocked it out.
Oh yeah.
And the band has a very live sound and in your face kind of like mentality, so we wanted to portray that in the recordings as well. So when we play live, we no holds bar, no mercy for the weak, not for the faint of heart type of shit.
Yeah.
So that's the kind of attitude we took with the recording as well. But just like Amo said, we're definitely open to try different recording techniques in the future and
expand our sound,
expand the horizons.
Oh, of course. It's always good to like expand and make yourselves better for like in the future with the future albums.
Yeah, try different things, and if it doesn't work out, then you always go back to your bread and butter.
Yeah.
But it's always just good to step outside of your comfort zone, kind of like, well, I'm used to this, but let me just take 2 steps this way and see what this is like, So definitely the band has never been just like a rigid, very like, this is what it is, blah, 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 we're fucking, this is what it is. We've always just been very, wherever the flow takes us, wherever it, leads, we'll follow it, we'll chase it, and this is the end result.
I mean, we have our sound, and it's not that we're ever going to completely abandon it.
Yeah.
But we're about evolving that sound.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, because
rather than changing.
oh yeah, of course, because like no, I've always seen. I sometimes with certain bands, I always see sometimes they go from this and then they change to that, and sometimes it's good, but then sometimes I'm just like, because when I first listen to one thing, I'm like, okay, that's what they sound, and I hear this one, and I'm like, okay, now I can see they really amped up their game and they sound a lot heavier than I thought they would be.
Progression, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, is there any other? Do you guys have like any like tours coming up any soon, like in the New York State?
We're maybe not in New York. I mean, we're planning to maybe do West Coast, which we haven't done. We've toured around the U.S. and in Canada, but we haven't been all the way to like California,
we would like
Oregon, Washington, all those places. So we're probably gonna do something this year, like in the West Coast. Maybe
an
middle
Asian
of the
thing?
year or something.
Maybe an Asian thing as well.
That's something possible
great.
because we're going to be recording a split CD with a band from China, so we might be doing something there soon.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people want to see us there. We've been getting like messages for a while, and we have a lot of friends who and people who like us over there. So we might be doing something in Asia at some point. Maybe not this year, but hopefully.
I mean, it's up in the air, but these are things we'd like to do. like to do. You know, nothing's kind of set up, but we're also going to, you know, continue the writing process. We're hopefully going to have a new smaller release, maybe next coming year or two. You know, something small, nothing, you know, something to just kind of like supplement the album. You know, let people know that we're, you know, we're active. We're really active. We're not just, it's not going to be,
we're not one
another almost 10 years between, you know, full length albums. We're going to, you know, we're going to hit them hard.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, of course. Like, one other thing I was gonna ask, like, what would you say is like your favorite bands, like the ones that you like, that one band you like the most?
You go, listen.
The first thing that comes to mind is Disgorge, Viva Armin, Postulated, Discretia, probably a band that not many people know about. And I listen to a lot of the old school stuff like Napalm Death, you know, and all that stuff, you know. Morbid Angel is like, I listen to it all the time.
Oh yeah, no, I love Morbid Angel. I saw them live not long ago.
Yeah, I see that you have that.
Oh yeah, we see that right peeking out from behind your head. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, also always like the influences, you know, that kind of like went really deep into my consciousness, you know, when I started playing drums and all that stuff. So yeah. But yeah, I listen to a lot of new bands and stuff, but I always try to listen to like the most brutal stuff, you know. I like super like guttural vocals and like crazy drums, you know, a lot of blasting and crazy guitars. So that's kind of like what I listen to the most.
Oh yeah, no, I always try to look for something good. Like mostly for me, I like something that's like very heavy and gets my attention. That's basically where I get mostly all my favorite bands from. Like the one band that really like catches me the most, like that really gets to me the most is basically like they're an old school band from like they were like the early '90s and all that. I really love Cannibal Corpse a lot.
Oh yeah, love them. Love them.
You back to life.
Yes.
Oh yeah, back to life. Everything. Honestly, I don't care. Chris, Corpse Grinder, I don't care.
Yeah, really. It's all good. It's all good. It doesn't matter who was vocalist or who was this or Jack or this guy or whoever the fuck. It's all fucking amazing, man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like no, I saw Cannibal Corpse like twice actually at the Summer Slaughter tour, and then one other time when they were playing with Obituary and Abysmal Dawn and what was that again? Cryptopsy, them too as well.
I remember that.
Yeah, I've seen them like 500 times, and every time like I see them as something different, and I like it always. So it's never gets old really.
Twice.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, I'm only twice.
I've only seen them once.
Once in 2007, and once at Webster Hall, like 2 years ago.
Oh no, I loved Webster Hall actually. That's where they have Summer Slaughter each year actually.
Yeah.
That place is gone.
Yeah. Fucking
unfortunately,
they closed it.
Yeah, no,
They
actually,
shut down Webster Hall.
no, actually, I don't think they turned it off. Actually, they shut it off. Actually, I heard that they were just renovating it.
Maybe they're just
Yeah,
renovating. Yeah.
they changed ownership and they're like changing brand and name like that. I think it's still going to be a venue, but
Yeah, it's still going to be a venue. It's just not Webster Hall.
it's not
anymore.
Webster Hall anymore. Yeah, it's going to be a different brand under different ownership, etc., etc.
Yeah.
Remains to be seen if they're going to like play metal bands. Hopefully they do.
Like fucking Live
Fingers
Nation,
crossed. But
Live Nation finally got their hands on it, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, that's good. No, because like each year, like because like now that you said that it's closed, like I was thinking, I wonder where Summer Slaughter is going to be this year. Actually, then that's one thing that worries me.
Have they announced the bill yet?
No, they haven't yet.
no,
Actually,
I think it's a little early. Yeah, I think it's
No,
a
it
little
is a little
preemptive.
early.
I think they have. I think they've probably already finalized the bill, but maybe they're trying to get a couple more bands or whatever, and then they'll start announcing shit. Because
Yeah,
like these kinds of things, you gotta set it up a year in advance. Type of shit.
You know, 70. You know, 70,000 tons is like this weekend.
Oh shit.
oh yeah, I heard about that actually.
Yeah,
the whole thing's happening.
The Metal Cruise.
Mm-hmm.
I actually want to go on that actually, because it looks incredible.
Yeah, right.
He does look like a drunken, crazy good time.
Yeah, and they always get like the craziest lineups too. Like holy shit.
Not only that, like from what I've seen, like from my homies that have gone there, like since it's a cruise, like you're eventually just gonna hang out with everybody that's there.
That's right.
From like the headlining bands to like that drunk dude in the corner.
Yeah.
Like it's
about the implication.
Yeah, like fucking homegirl Carolina.
Yeah,
like
she
that's
did
how
last
she
year.
knows mad people now.
Last year, yeah,
she went, and everyone's just like, yeah, you're that fucking castrator, right? And yeah, that's how Gary Holt is fucking rocking a castrator shirt at shows now.
Did you guys ever listen to the new Morbid Angel record?
Yes,
I have. I love
it. I love it. It's great.
I mean, I don't know what you think, but I've heard it. I think it's great.
I've heard it too.
I think it's 201 song.
It is.
Yeah, it sounds good.
Yeah.
No, I've heard it online, and it's something. You know, it's way better than Keith Cop, Keith.
Yeah, exactly.
That being said, Dave Vincent's a really nice dude when you meet him.
Yeah, Dave Vincent's a great guy. Definitely. But like the kind of stuff they were putting out recently maybe wasn't so much in line with, for example, like what they put out like last year, so it was definitely a little, like a nice kind of like nostalgia, return to form kind of thing that they put this album out and kind of like appeased all the old heads and all the, old school fans and fans of the old school.
Oh, yeah.
If you're a fan of Tucker era, it's for you.
Yeah, because I've listened to both actually.
Yeah, Vincent only guys may be a little, I don't know. I know a few Vincent only guys that don't like the record.
Like, I do like David Vincent actually, but I can appreciate both actually, as long as it's heavy and I like it. That's all that really matters to me.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go over the top and go like, just saying, I'm not gonna listen to this. I will still listen to it no matter what.
Yeah, still a few records and releases that I'm looking forward to. God, they're all. Wait, has the new Pestilence come out yet?
I don't know.
I was looking forward to that because everything that Pestilence has released since they got back together, I thought was really good.
No, also I also thought of this. Like when you tour, like what was one of your favorite bands that you really enjoyed touring with that you actually really had the chance to be like, oh, I really enjoyed being with them the most on this tour?
I don't know. The first thing that comes to mind, I guess, was Bacteremia from Colombia. We just toured with them. I mean, we were like 11 guys for 2 months together every day. So at the end of the tour, we didn't really want to see each other again. We were like, okay, I don't want to see you for like a whole year,
Yeah.
But Bacteremia, Sebastian, he's been my friend for a long time, since like Purulent, because I used to play in that band, and he was also in that band in Colombia. And yeah, we're really good friends, and I think we created like a good relationship with those guys. Also, we were with Separation, so it was kind of fun to be with them, like for 2 months and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, we kind of had like ups and downs, but it was fun to be with them and to kind of like share like all that time and all those shows and and all the odyssey of being like in Europe, like 11 guys trying to make it to shows from here to there and having to take airplanes, trains, buses, vans, all kinds of different things.
With all of our luggage.
For 2 months, so with a lot of shit,
With a lot of shit.
So I think we kind of like made a good relationship with them, because we became kind of like a family, like for 2 months together. So yeah,
and it was a great learning experience for all parties involved. Not just because a lot of the people that were on this tour, our band, Separation, Bacteremia, had already had more experience touring and experience in Europe as well, and maybe some of the other members hadn't had so much, So it was really, we got there and none of us really knew how it was going to be, but it all worked out in the end. We all, like he said, we all became a really big, happy family. And just like any family, we had our moments where we were at each other's throats maybe or whatever, but we love all those guys, all of us and all this stuff, and definitely do it again. It was a great experience. a lot of learning and growing and maturing for everybody involved.
All right, that's awesome, man.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but I also, just to add to this, I also personally want to say that I personally, along with, the bands that have been brought up before, when we toured with Gomagat, those guys were great guys.
That was really cool. Man.
Great guys. It's unfortunate that they're not really active anymore, but those guys were great guys, tight band, good dudes. And personally, while I didn't tour with this band, with Animals Killing People, this was an older band of mine that I toured with. Personal shout out to Tentacles from upstate. Those guys are great dudes. Great dudes. Tentacles.
Yeah, I'll check them out, actually.
Yeah. If you have a sense of humor, check them out.
Oh, I do. I have a very good sense of humor.
Okay, then you'll love
a lot of
them.
things.
And honorable mention to Abassani from Rochester. Abassani. No, my bad, not Abassani. I always mix them up. Yeah, Abdicate. Abdicate from Rochester. Abassinate's from Jersey.
Yeah. I was about to say.
Abdicate from Rochester is the honorable mention. Excuse me. Yes, Abdicate. Both major bands I've been in have a special relationship with these guys. This band included.
Oh, that's all right. No, actually, that's awesome. Actually, I was also one other thing. I was thinking about this before, and actually, I want to say, have you guys I don't know if you probably definitely heard, maybe not. You probably saw them on tour, maybe not on tour, but have you ever guys heard of a band called Party Cannon?
Oh, Party Cannon.
Yeah, we heard of Party Cannon.
Yeah.
We've met quite a few guys that have toured with them recently. I don't know if you've heard of Torturous Inception.
Oh yeah, no, I just saw them actually at New York Death Fest last year. I'm friends with the guitarist. Actually, he just friended me not long ago at the show.
Devin or Dustin?
Devin.
Yeah, Devin's a good dude. Dustin, hilarious. One of the funniest people I've ever met in my life.
Oh, of course. No, I got just meeting them was actually really good. Actually, they opened up to me very quickly.
Man. Yeah, dude. I've known at least of him ever since his Vomitus Rectum days. You remember Vomitus Rectum?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and they became Torturous Inception.
Oh wait, so they actually switched their name? I didn't even know that.
Vomitus Rectum. Yeah.
No, also no about Party Can too. Actually, no, I actually had a chance to speak with them too as well. They're very cool dudes.
Oh yeah. I don't think any of us have really ever met them. We've crossed paths in the sense that we've played the same festival maybe once or twice or something, but never on the same day.
No.
And we've had a lot of friends in bands play with them. And I don't know about these guys, but I've heard their music, and they're a lot of fun. They're really kind of really cool. So
isn't one of the Crepitation? I could be wrong, but isn't one of the Crepitation guys? Wait. Where's Party Cannon? Where's Party Cannon from?
They're from Scotland.
Oh yeah, isn't one of the Crepitation guys a former?
I think
Party
so.
Cannon member?
I think so, and they've toured with them as well.
I know they've toured with them.
So yeah, it's one of those things, like friends of friends of friends of friends.
Yeah.
Thing, so.
But we've never had direct contact.
Yeah,
with them,
but they, seems like cool people.
Oh yeah,
definitely. Actually. We play a show one day, do a tour, whatever. We're down to play with anybody, everybody. As long as you're cool peoples, and you smoke weed.
Oh,
even if you don't, it doesn't matter.
Speaking of which, I was waiting for the lead-in.
420 blazing, man.
420 blazing all day. Thank you, bro. Hey, here you go, bro.
Oh man, I wish I was there, man. I'm always in the mood for that, and also that and beer, man.
Oh, wish I had some more beer too.
Yeah, but anything else you wanna ask or shoot away, man?
All right, sure. No, so
that's some good shit.
Nah, if you're coughing, you know that it's good.
You're the shame of the fun.
Yeah, feel free to ask away, man.
All right, sure. I was gonna ask, has there ever been what would you say is you think in your personal opinion? What would you say is your best album that you thought that you recorded so far? like you said that this has to be like our best album that we did.
I think
New
Eat Your
one.
Murder,
Yeah,
the
new
new
one.
one, like,
Yeah,
I feel very
it's
good with
definitely
it. You know,
considered,
it's very dynamic. It has a lot of
Yeah.
different things. I think it has a lot of different elements from all the albums that we previously released. So, and I think we got into a point where it's more professional. The music is like more well composed and stuff like that. You know, so I think it's the best album up to date.
Yeah. It took a while to write. We really long time to write the album, actually, just due to like lineup changes, other things like that. So this record, you know, kind of spans across all of that. And what I hear on the record is growth as a band. We've grown pretty much in every way that a band can grow. And, you know, we're not only just writing better, but we're playing better as individual instrumentalists, you know. We're better than, you know, than we were when we recorded the split. He's better than he was when he recorded the album and and the original EP and so on and so forth. So, you know, we're keeping the evolution going. So essentially, every band should want to answer that question. Our latest release is the best record, so we're going to go with that cliche.
Yeah, and also because on top of everything that they just said, we also had the opportunity for each of us to kind of like show our own personality within the music as well, and yet sound very uniform, you know? Mm-hmm. So that's what, as well, we're very proud of. Like, you know, we're just really happy with the release, how it came out, how it sounded, how it was composed, and we want to share it with everybody else, and we hope that they feel as we do.
Oh, of course, like, no way, because I really, just like I said before, I really enjoyed the record, and I really felt it throughout listening to it.
Thank you.
Like
Thank you so much, man.
Oh, of course, like
Fuck yeah,
of course,
awesome,
oh, of course, like, you know, I was also one other thing, like some of the audio clips on the album, like where did you get some of those from? 'Cause I was like listening, I was like, where did they get some of these from?
Wilson's the master right here.
So yeah, I mean, I kind of like every time I'm watching a movie or something, and something sticks with me if it has to do with like animal torture or something, and sometimes I kind of mix them up, you know. I just they come from different movies, you know, different things that I hear, you know, and then I'm like, okay, I'm gonna take that part, you know, and then mix it up with this and this, you know, to create like an effect, you know, and make people think about things, you know, and sometimes make it kind of grotesque, you know, and make people like really feel like disgusted by you know, all that animal, you know, like industry and like how animals are being treated and all that stuff. So yeah, I always kind of want to find intros or like samples that make people feel like, oh, I'm disgusted by eating this shit or something, you know. So yeah, they just come from different like movies and stuff like that.
Yeah, I love trying to figure out where it comes from. Or like I'm watching a movie, all of a sudden I'm like, I recognize that 3 seconds right there.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Sometimes I find some videos on YouTube, you know, where like people going to farms, you know, trying to find out the truth about certain places and all that, and where the meat comes from and all that, you know, and just mix it up, you know. I kind of mix like different things. Make it kind of interesting and disgusting, so people feel that.
Didn't Kentucky Fried Killing have an Earthling sample?
I don't know. I don't remember. I've used so many, you know.
Yeah.
Animals killing people, man.
I remember someone telling me
that's what we're looking for. You know,
we had a few samples from that movie Earthling.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, right, no, that's from the movie, actually, because, like, you know, I always want to know where some of these samples are from, so I'm always interested in whatever movie it's from, so, like, you know, I always like to check it out, actually.
Yeah. There is the movie Black Sheep. You should check it out. It's like it's a really cool movie. I think it's from New Zealand, and that's the sample that I used for Animalistic Hunger for Human Meat, which is a video that actually we made for that song. You know, that's in the latest album.
That's our latest single.
And the intro is kind of like 1 minute, it's super long, and I made it. We kind of put it in the CD as like a separate track, so people wouldn't have to hear to the intro or the sample every time they would want to hear the song. So it's separate, and it's a really fun sample to hear, and then it's all from that movie, which you should totally check it out.
Oh, I will actually, because when I listened to that sample, I actually liked it too. Actually.
Yeah,
nice.
Like sometimes, like I think it's really extreme and really good. I'm like, you know what? Maybe I'll just go back to that and hear that one more time before listening to the song.
Because we do have a bit of a Mortician influence too.
Oh yeah.
It's not huge, but it's there.
No, because I definitely know. Because one of my friends actually, like we were listening to Mortician. Actually, this is something funny. Actually, he came up with. He was like, I was like, dude, like he was like, oh, when's the song gonna come up? And I'm like, oh, it comes up soon. Because like, you're like half the song is like this whole sample, and then he was like,
the song is shorter than the sample.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
No, we try to make the songs longer than the sample.
Yeah. We're not.
Sometimes I'm like, the sample is getting too long, but I want to create an effect, and like make people like realize something, so they have to be a little long. But because of that, we wanted to keep it separate from the song.
Of course.
But
so people could skip it if they wanted to.
I think you're usually really good with the samples. Like I think always good with the samples. Actually, excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
You got like one really long one per record, and then like a few short ones. They always set an atmosphere.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Not like Mortician ones that are like 2 minutes long for a 20-second song.
Yeah, because he came up with something funny. He was like, oh, I was like, Joe, what kind of genre is Mortician? He's like, oh, the sample core. Because it never had their music. All this is a sample.
Sample grind,
He's like, that's the song, Steph, and the song is just the sample. There's no song. That's it. And I was like, well, okay then. I thought that was pretty smart, funny as well.
Oh man, yeah. Mortician's a good time. Yeah, Mortician's a great time. They're great, man. Yeah, I saw them once at NY Death Fest like a few years back, and it was a great time. Yeah, my metal brothers, we're here in metal, celebrating brotherhood in metal. My brothers. My metal brothers. It's the closest thing to like real life Metalocalypse.
Oh yeah.
But like in terms of like the
No, speaking of Metalocalypse, actually.
Oh shit. Nice, bro.
Yeah, I'm like, I love that show. That's like, I've seen like all the seasons, everything about it, and I'm like, that's basically the show that really hooked me into metal in the first place, actually.
Oh wow! Bring it back, finish it off, right? It's a shame the shit show that became. Yeah. The negotiations for the ending. It's a total shit show. It's going to be completely in limbo. Adult Swim says that Brendan Small's being an asshole. Yeah. Brendan Small says that Adult Swim's being an asshole. Like, there's no, it's he said, she said nonsense. There's no resolution.
Yeah, because like I remember the whole like thing about like Metalocalypse Now and the whole thing about it, and I was like, I hope they actually did something. But then when I heard nothing happen, I was like, oh, that sucks. I guess we're never gonna get an ending.
Finish it, man. Like they can't even like just finish it. Part of the bullshit is like the negotiation of the rights or something like that. And who like has majority control over the show or something like that. I think that's not the only issue, but I think it's the main issue. And shit.
Yeah, I can understand that because, like, they have been having like a problem with the finale, and I really wanted to see what was happening after the Doomstar Requiem because it left out on a point that I was like, okay, what's gonna happen now? What does this mean? But then after that, like, when I didn't hear anything, I was like, I guess I just had to think about it for myself then.
Yeah, the negotiations for I think what was it, season 4? Season 4, yeah. The negotiations for season 4.
I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that, man. Pretty stoned.
Because it was either going to be,
as usual.
It was either going to be another season or a movie, some shit like that, like a theatrical movie.
That would have been great.
I heard a rumor about one of the two, and negotiations fell apart for both.
No, I hope that actually happens because I would love just to go to theaters just to see that. That would really really make my time.
Yeah, that'd be dope as fuck.
But yeah, I mean, anything else you want to ask us?
Yeah, this is a few more questions. There's a few short other questions. Also, one thing I want to ask you is this: what's the name of the band on your shirt? Actually, I was looking at that. I was like, I like the way it looks.
Which one?
Oh, this?
Yeah, that one.
This is actually a festival in Texas called Building Temples from Death.
Oh, really?
I highly recommend you check it.
I didn't even know that. I thought it was a band.
4 years ago?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
I don't know if you can see the bill, but it was like a monster festival. To date, it's my favorite show that I played in the U.S. Mm-hmm. To date, it's my favorite. Malignancy, Mortal Decay, Guttural Secrete, Abnormality, Dysentery's not on the bill, right? No.
I don't think so.
No. Parasitic Extirpation, that's fucking blues band that was on the bill.
No, I see Internal Bleeding, too.
Yeah, Internal Bleeding, yeah. Who else? I can't remember who's on the bill.
Abnormality.
Yeah, Amputated Genitals.
Amputated Genitals. They fucking canceled last minute. They canceled like, yo, my man's. It was so ridiculous. Yo, my man's. Yo, Daniel Cox literally walked up to the dude like, we're not playing. He's like, you're here to, like, the dude, fucking Brian was like, you're actually here at this festival to tell me that you're not playing it.
I would be pissed off.
Like, why'd you even bother to come?
Shit happens, man.
But it was one of the best festivals. Yeah, that was like right when they fell apart. But yeah, that's they're bringing it back too.
Yeah,
they're bringing it back.
Something to get excited about, bro.
Dude, this upcoming year
get excited
is,
about.
I think, the best U.S. festival season I've seen in years.
Yeah. This is the one that's gonna bankrupt metalheads all over the fucking country. Seriously. Have you peeped it, man, this year?
Like, I have to fucking pick and choose.
Yeah.
I don't want to, man, because Building Temples looks amazing. Chicago looks amazing.
I was going to go to Chicago, actually.
Looks amazing.
I was thinking about it, too, man.
Yeah, because I heard about Chicago Demolition Fest, yeah. And I saw the lineup for last year, and I was like, I think I might want to go this year, because so far I'm seeing that... I think I did, yeah, I think I saw, like, some bands being, like, shown already, and I'm like, I like the lineup so far, so I think I might want to go.
They have almost the entire lineup posted. I think it's heavy duty.
Oh, yeah.
It's heavy duty.
Yeah.
Heavy duty, man. Fucking Benighted is playing, man. Oh, yeah. I kind of just want to go just to see them.
Now, have you guys ever been? I don't know if you actually been to this festival, but maybe, I don't know. But have you guys ever been to Wacken Open Air?
No. Oh, Wacken, no.
I've never been, unfortunately.
Oh, yeah,
no.
No, I've always wanted to go, but it's always so far away, and I was like, such a
it's far. It's kind of like it's a journey. It's a big undertaking going to there because from what I understand, like you gotta like stay on the campground or something like that, and it's it's like 100,000 people deep. That's Wacken. That's like the biggest. That's like the biggest metal festival, the biggest metal rock anything festival that doesn't put on bands like Linkin Park.
Oh, no, they always had like a good lineup. Like they always had a lot of my favorite black metal bands always played there a lot of years.
Yeah, I personally think the years before were better because they had a little more emphasis on death metal before. Like if you go online, you'll see footage of like Nile and Suffocation playing Wacken.
Oh no, yeah, I actually saw what Suffocation played Wacken back in the early 2000s, and it looks a lot different than it was back in like what it is right now. Actually, and I was like, yeah, the stage changed a lot.
It's much bigger now. Like it's on fucking TV now.
Oh, you guys ever seen Suffocation or no?
Yeah.
So many times.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
At least 6 for me.
Oh, I've seen them twice actually. Like I saw them at Summer Slaughter, and then I saw them on tour
I've
with
seen
Morbid Angel.
them. I have seen them with every drummer they've had besides the current one and Doug Bone. And the only reason why I haven't seen them with Doug Bone is because he was in the band from 92 to 94.
No, I actually during when I went to see when I saw Suffocation with Morbid Angel just last year, it was basically the first time I ever saw actually Frank Mullen actually on stage actually for the first time.
Wait, you saw them? Oh yeah. No, he does all the New York shows.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard that.
Because my buddy Kev, he's a buddy of mine from Merciless Concept. He does all the touring vocals for them now. He's co-vocals with them now.
Oh, and you actually know that because there was always somebody who was doing vocals first, and then he would come up after actually, and I didn't actually. I didn't know who that person was.
You see, like a younger guy, right?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that's Kevin from Merciless Concept. Yeah.
No, I thought
He's
it was
really
something
good.
else.
Yeah, he's really good. I think he's the best co-vocalist they've ever had. Because they won. I saw some videos when they had John Gallagher on stage singing for them, and it's he definitely looks like someone that like needs a guitar on stage with him, because he definitely did not know what to do with his hand that wasn't holding a microphone.
No, I always like the bassist of Suffocation. I like the way he plays sometimes. Actually, it's pretty cool. Like he always like the bass in a different way.
Boyer's man, dude. That's my boy.
Yeah, because always see him hold the bass in a different way, and I'm like, holy shit, he's like really going at it.
He's a great dude, man. He's also a really great dude. All those guys are really great dudes. Well, I don't really know the current guitarist like that, nor the current drummer. The last lineup I like kind of knew as people were the lineup with Dave Clarose.
No.
The record that they put out in 2003. Those are like the last time I was on a first name basis with those guys.
Huh, actually, no. Oh, so one other thing, actually. This is just a completely...
I know Terrence and Derek, but that's about it.
All right, no, I was gonna ask. This is a completely random question. Like I usually like to ask certain people this, but I'm trying to like make my hair longer. What are good tips for making it good? Because I'm trying a little myself.
Talk to these guys.
I don't know, man. I mean, I'm not sure. I've had long hair since I'm like super, like, I don't know, 12 years old or something, so it's always been normal, I just do the normal, wash it with like shampoo and conditioner, that's it.
I hear combing it down constantly, specifically down.
Maybe like, trimming the tips like every month or something is good, so it grows faster.
Okay, so you mean like I have to cut like shorter sometimes just to make it go then?
Yeah, the
No,
split
just
ends.
like this, just the tips,
split
like
ends,
just like the bottom part.
Constantly combed down.
Yeah, but I don't know, it's just whatever.
Yeah,
Everyone's different, it all depends on what you eat and stuff like that,
Yeah, I just wanted to ask that. So actually, I'm just gonna. That's all I really have to say for now.
Okay.
All
right, man. Well,
So are you gonna edit this and kind of like just use more of like the band stuff, or are you gonna use everything, or?
I usually like to use everything basically, and then it basically gives. I do that with every interview basically.
Wait, did you edit it? Is that what he said?
No, it's gonna be like a raw kind of.
Oh, like a raw, just kind of.
Yeah, I've done that with like every other interview I've ever done, basically, like for other bands I've done.
No worries.
Okay.
No worries.
Cool. And send it to us when it's ready. I guess you're gonna upload it on YouTube or something.
Yeah, I put it up on my channel.
Sweet, just message us when you put it up, man.
Oh,
Send me a link of your channel, please, man.
Yeah, send us a link, man.
Oh, of course. No, if you guys ever want me to do anything for you, like like advertise an album or a tour or something, I could always do that because I'm always liking to actually advertise something so people on my channel could know where, like where this band is going or if they want to hear from you.
All right, cool. Yeah, bro. We appreciate that. Thank you.
Of course. No, and I always support you guys too. You guys are absolutely phenomenal. Like, really, keep up the great work,
Thank
guys.
you, man. Thank you so much, man.
Yeah, cool, man.
Thank you for the support.
Maybe just don't put on the part in the video where he starts dancing in his high heels.
No. No. Also, you guys said you were from, like in the New York State, right?
Yeah,
we're in Brooklyn.
Yeah, we're in Brooklyn right now.
Oh, really? Okay, because like actually, no. If you ever guys just wanna, it's up to you though. If you ever wanna like hang out or anything.
Yeah, if you want to come to a rehearsal or something.
Yeah, if you want to come to a rehearsal, do like some podcast sort of thing. Like hell, I don't know what you guys.
You can do like a live YouTube video or something.
Yeah, exactly. Live YouTube
course.
stream of one of our rehearsals if you want.
Oh, of course, because like for me, actually in Brooklyn, it's just one bus ride away from me, and that's easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we're we rehearse, really, really close to like the edges of Brooklyn, close to Long Island. Like we're 10 minutes from the airports.
Oh, really? Oh, that's not far at all.
Yeah.
All right. So overall, guys, thank you very much for taking the time to do this. I absolutely appreciate it.
Oh, thank you, man.
No, thank you. It was blessed. It was
Bro.
It was a
Yeah,
fun
of course.
interview.
Yeah. Thank you so much, man.
Oh, of course. Like I'll keep in contact with you just to see what's going on.
For sure, man. Thank you, man.
Definitely.
Oh, you're very welcome. All right. See you guys around. I really appreciate
All right,
everything.
see you, man. Take care.
All right, have a great night,
Stay in
brother.
touch.
Sleep well, man.
All right. Thank
Bye.
you. You too.
All right.
All right, guys, and that was my interview with the band Animals Killing People. I hope you enjoyed it. So overall, guys, hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you enjoyed the interview. So overall, keep it metal, keep it brutal, keep it awesome. Hope to see you guys all soon in my next video. Have a phenomenal, great rest of your day. And remember, always keep it metal. And I'll see you guys all soon. Oh, excuse me. See you guys all soon next time. Good. Bye.